Hello and welcome to a new video. So these are covered in wax. Hi there, this is cassava. If you've never seen this, it's a cassava tubers. These have come from probably Indonesia. They are staple root crops in West Africa, where I originally come from. But however, they're normally processed by fermentation because they're high in cyanides, which are anti-nutrients that can cause other health issues if they're not fermented. Over the years, though, this fermentation practice has changed and has been modernized to the point where I think we are losing the benefits of the proper fermentation. And I thought, obviously, in the diaspora it might be tricky to ferment it, but I thought I'll give it a go, and it worked. I think ideally you should do this in the summer months. So start off with peeling your cassava. It's covered in wax. Normally, obviously, when you harvest this in Africa, you just process it in the same day, and that's the best time to do this, but this is an improvised way of doing it. So I peel the skins. It has 2 layers of skins. You just peel it all up, wash it, and I'm soaking it in a pan. Use ideally, obviously, a non-reactive metal pan. This is a cast iron pan, that's why I'm using it. I'm also using unchlorinated water because I want the fermentation to happen. I'm also adding a starter culture, which is my local locust beans or iru or ogiri. I mix this whole thing up and covered it up with some raw cabbage from the garden, massive cabbage leaves, and I let this sit for 24 hours and had a little look. Now in the summer months, keep it in a warm place. If you do this in a cool area, I can't guarantee it's going to ferment naturally, but obviously we've put a starter culture which would really make a difference. Okay, so if you're used to having fermentation starters, this is a good thing to do for fermenting tubers. Now, after 24 hours, I found, oh my God, I had the little mold and yeasty layers at the top, and it smelled like it was fermenting. So good, we were really pleased. This is good news. And then after 3 days, which is what happens in the tropics, I was really pleased, and this is something that has traveled for weeks. It was fermented and ready to go. Now, why are we eating fermented foods? It's not just destroying the anti-nutrients or breaking it down like the cyanide content. It actually helps digestibility, helps repopulate our good gut bacteria, and also cassava is a fantastic prebiotic. Okay, so people with issues like IBS and allergies and other gut issues will benefit greatly from fermented foods. In the West, there's so many different types of fermented foods, like you have kimchi, you have tofu, you have sauerkraut, you have kifa, but this is what you have in Africa. And so we need to go back to our roots, guys. If you're African, even if you're not, you could try this. Now, processing this could not be easier. I'm using a colander, some clean filtered water, and I'm just going to squeeze it up and mash out and take out the huge strands of fiber. Now, these big clumps did not fully ferment. If this was in Africa, it would have been completely dissolved. Okay, but that was fine. I was dehydrating this in my oven, a very low temperature, below 50 degrees. Can you see that? Ensuring that this thing doesn't kill the good bacteria that we've just produced and repopulated here. Now also, the liquid at the bottom should not be thrown away. That's real pre and probiotic fiber. Okay, so normally they use a muslin cut back home. They put this in a bag and let all the water strain out. So I'm using my nut milk bag. Look, these things are really good. My nut milk bag, but I use the one that is made out of hemp. It's like a cotton fabric that doesn't let all the fiber or all the starch out of the bag. So I put this in the bag and just let it sit for about 12 hours, and most of the liquid was drained. Then I added a weight over it and just squeezed the bag tight, just to ensure that a lot of the liquid kept coming out. And this way I was able to get it really dry and easier to dehydrate. Okay, also you could actually process this way without even dehydrating, which is what was done traditionally, but dehydrating is a good way to preserve it and use it, and also ensure that it lasts a lot longer, especially in the diaspora. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Have you tried this before? I've seen a lot of people do it and it hasn't fermented properly, but then using a starter, using what I use, ogiri or dawa or iru, it's been a lifesaver. So I'm blending the powder that has been dehydrated, and I'm just going to store this in a jar, and we've been enjoying this. So guys, give this video a thumbs up and let me know if you try this, but I'll encourage you wherever you are to try fermented foods, and I'll see you in another video. Please subscribe if